So it is a new day at the SEC, and we are picking up the gauntlet and the challenge that President Trump has laid down to make America, the crypto capital of the world.
So whether you're a beginner to XRP, whether you own XRP, whether you're just curious about other coins like XRP, this video is for you, and I'm going to be giving you some urgent updates about XRP that you're going to want to watch all the way to the end.
There are a lot of ways that we can help do that, and that is provide certainty and regulatory certainty and good rules that are fit for purpose for the crypto industry, so that
I'm going to be giving you my full price update on XRP and where I see it going in the next 3-6 months and the rest of the year for the bull run. If that sounds good, I want you guys to leave a like, subscribe, turn post notifications on if you haven't yet, and go to cointutorial.org and click on trading guide. I pretty much teach you from start to finish how to trade a margin in crypto and a lot of cool bonuses as well. We see right now that XRP is currently trading at about $3. And compared to pretty much the last day or so, it's pretty much just a 1% deviation. And over the past week, 5%. But for the month of July, pretty much all of July, we did see XRP gain about 37% overall growth for the month. So that's still a good thing. What are the key drivers and market events that have been happening to XRP recently that's been affecting the price? It starts with Bitcoin, right? It really starts with stock market, the Fed and everything, and it trickles down to stocks. It trickles down to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin trickles down to XRP. So I'll get into the main drivers. So pretty much we saw a significant trigger for the price drop was Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen's movement of nearly $175 million in XRP, with around 140 million of that reaching exchanges. So it's pretty much saying that we did see the co-founder of Ripple taking profits, potentially taking profits. He moved about 175 million of his XRP, and then 140 million hit exchanges. And once people tracked it to when it hit the exchange, you can only assume that he's probably moving it to exchange to sell it, right? It's not like he can stake the XRP or anything, or maybe he's swapping to other coins, but overall he's probably taking profits right now. And people saw that as a sign of just, oh, he's selling, maybe we should sell as well. But the majority of the market definitely still thinks it's gonna be a rebound. That's just a short-term thing, and it hardly really affected the price. 5% down for the week and 30% up for the month. We saw that maybe like that was a factor, and it didn't really even move the market that much of him selling. Second thing we saw was escrow unlocks adding overhead. So Ripple released about $125 million worth of XRP from escrow, and this raised concerns for a lot of investors and people about the excess supply, right? Because think about it, right? $125 million more dollars just adding into XRP circulation, and that pretty much dilutes the price. But we did see that it's a good sign because it didn't really move the price too much at all, really. And we see it still overall went up, but it did drop a little bit with the overall market as of right now. Though not unexpected, it contributed to short-term volatility, just like the co-founder of XRP selling contributed to short-term volatility, which is normal, right? Because markets go up, they go down. And we also saw regulatory and federal policy in focus as well. So the US government is preparing a crypto policy report mandated by a recent executive order. Additionally, regulatory moves such as the SEBO's proposal to fast-track spot XRP ETFs are keeping investors' attention high. So a lot of people are pretty much just paying attention to the policy focuses, right, and everything. A lot of the policy focuses has been maybe around stablecoins, maybe about crypto legislation, making it more clear, which is a great thing for the market overall. So people are definitely keeping an eye on that, as well as pretty much potential XRP ETF. So let's talk about technicals and on-chain insights. So technical indicators show a neutral overall rating with a short-term neutral outlook, but a strong buy signal on the monthly chart. So it's pretty much saying that a lot of investors right now are pretty much neutral. It's pretty much neutral on both sides, right? There's somewhat a balance of people that want to sell. There's somewhat a balance of people that want to buy. And I do agree with that to an extent right now, because I do think right now it's a false dump right now, because compared to the last 4 years ago, right, we did see around this time the crypto market, not just XRP, the crypto market as a whole in general, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all major alts around this time had a major fall. And what happened after that major fall in 2021, 4 years ago around this time, we saw a rebound, breaking all new highs for a bunch of coins. We saw Ethereum, we saw Solana, we saw Bitcoin, and a lot of other coins start to just break the all-time high and just hit a uphill trajectory after this period. XRP appears to be consolidating above the key support of about $3, so it's about the $3-ish a range to about the high $2 range, exhibiting a potential double bottom pattern with upside potential targeting a $3.40 range in the short term if momentum sustains. And pretty much on-chain analysis indicate whales are accumulating, scooping up around 60 million XRP, signaling long-term confidence, because we see some like big whales buying 60 million XRP. So that's a sign of confidence, because if you think about it, are they really buying to maybe sell in 1 hour, or maybe they sell in a day? Potentially not. If there's like a big whale out there, they're potentially buying it and maybe they want to sell it in a few months, maybe a few years. Overall, it shows long-term confidence, and that's a good thing pretty much overall. So pretty much what we talked about was just pretty much the weekly return was about a 5% decline in XRP, but we did see the monthly gain about 37% for XRP. The peak price is potentially targeted for about that $3.40 range. The support level right now is about the $3 range, which we're at right now. The $3 it's just a sell point. It's just like a nice clean number that's just like a resistance right now for a lot of people. And we can see that the potential upside for is at 340, and then potential upside from there is 4 to like 466. So if momentum returns, which I do believe, in my opinion, I do believe the momentum will return. The drivers mainly are the executive policy report, the Fed rates decisions, large escrow releases, ETF proposal. So pretty much the things going on in the Feds, and pretty much that's going to trickle down to the stocks. That's pretty much going to trickle down to Bitcoin, and from the Bitcoin, we're going to see it trickle down to XRP and all other coins as well. And it's pretty much the sentiment right now is pretty much just mixed, right? We pretty much just have a lot of people. Some people maybe they want to sell, some people they want to hold, but the general consensus is hold tight. And looking ahead, potential near-term catalysts are pretty much just the White House report, the federal rate decisions, the ETF developments. I think the ETF developments are one that's going to be, because once the XRP ETF gets approved, like the Bitcoin ETF gets approved, we saw Bitcoin ETFs get approved, right? And then after a while, we did see the price fall down, but eventually it did break all new highs as well. And I do potentially see that as well, because ETFs are a positive thing for XRP, because when ETFs come in, investors, like a lot of old investors, the old school style investors, they can just invest. They don't have to buy XRP directly. They can buy stake in XRP, but through buying the ETFs, and the ETFs, they pretty much own XRP. Or how the token's hold right now, it's at the psychological level of about $3 right now, and I do see a rebound coming. And that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to go to cointutorial.org and click on Trading Guide. I show you guys pretty much everything about crypto. Also, leave a like, subscribe, turn post notifications on, and then I'll see you guys again in the next video. Comment your thoughts on XRP or what video you want to see me do next, and I'll try my best to do it.